Hi friends, today we're diving deeper into this concept of cycle syncing. Yesterday we talked about cycle syncing your fitness. Today we're talking about cycle syncing your nutrition. There's so much on this subject, and so I'm going to give you guys sort of my bullet points. I will also link up for you a podcast episode that I did where I went way deeper into this subject so that if you want more details, you can get it there. I also teach this in my Sync Digital course. So I give you 13 weeks worth of meal plans, complete with grocery lists for every phase of your cycle for 13 weeks. It's a really powerful plan that really takes the guesswork out of it for women so that instead of wondering what they should be eating at any time of their cycle, they can just simply print this off and follow it. I find it to be the best way to do this. But I'm going to give you guys a quick overview. So first of all, as we know, there are different phases of your cycle where your hormones are high. There are phases of your cycle where your hormones are low. We can take advantage of that from a nutritional perspective because we can help boost the hormones when they're low, and we can help sort of detoxify the hormones when they're high. The first thing that I want you guys to take away from this is seed cycling. If you do a quick Google search on seed cycling, you'll find lots of graphics that you can use to your advantage to make it easier, more of a visual for you. But seed cycling is a very real thing with a lot of scientific proven knowledge. And so the first thing that I want to tell you to do is to just keep it simple and to incorporate sunflower seeds and sesame seeds into your regimen around the midpoint of your cycle. So when you start using your scope until after the ovulation has occurred and you see those ferns, be incorporating sunflower seeds and sesame seeds into your salads and your meals. Number 2 is to incorporate cruciferous vegetables into your diet, especially in the second half of the month. So after your ferning has happened and now you're in luteal phase where your progesterone is starting to rise, we want to start to eat more cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, chard, leafy greens. Those types of foods are really going to help you detoxify any excess estrogen and keep you out of something that we call estrogen dominance. So I like to beef up everything with extra broccoli during the second half of my month. The one thing that I see happen most often when it comes to women, especially as we age, is they start to work out harder and restrict more calories, when in reality, they should actually maybe be syncing their fitness with their cycle and recovering more and focusing more on nutrition that works for them in the different phases of their cycle. You don't need to be restricting any macronutrient. You shouldn't be restricting fat. You shouldn't be restricting protein or carbohydrates. I know it's pop culture to say low carb or low fat or, to restrict these things, but I'm telling you that it works against your female physiology to do that. When your body doesn't get enough of what it needs, it starts to hold on to the weight, especially as we age. When you're in your 30s and 40s and beyond, your adrenal glands, which is responsible for your stress response, starts to also make up for your ovaries and it starts to produce more sex hormones. So all of a sudden, these teeny tiny little adrenal glands in charge of your cortisol, in charge of your stress response, they start being pressed even harder to work for you. And so women who are restricting calories and they're not fueling their body, they put these adrenal glands into extra stress mode, also known as adrenal fatigue. When that starts to happen, the body says, no, thank you, I'm in survival mode, and it starts to hold on to the weight. You cannot restrict your calories in order to see results. If you're looking for weight loss, this is something that you have to focus on. You have to focus on getting the right macronutrients. You have to focus on getting enough protein and healthy fats especially, removing inflammatory foods like dairy and gluten and refined sugars, and really focusing on getting a good balanced meal 3 times a day or more, right? So making sure that you're having a protein, a fat, and a carbohydrate in the morning. Same thing for lunch, same thing for dinner, to keep that metabolism moving. So I like to tell women that you want to make sure that you're consuming 20 to 40 grams of protein after your workout, immediately after your workout. So within 30 minutes of exercise, you should be consuming at least 20 grams of plant-based protein. I teach all of this in my Sync Digital course. Again, I take all the guesswork out of it for you, but again, these are just some main points that you can take away and start using today. Seed cycling, right? Well, let's go over them again. Number 1, sunflower seeds and sesame seeds during the middle point of your cycle, the entire time that you're using your scope. Cruciferous vegetables. Once you've seen ferning happen, you've seen ovulation happen, start to incorporate those cruciferous vegetables into the second half of your month. Focus all of your meals on those healthy fats and healthy proteins, making sure that you're getting them with each and every meal. Get rid of the gluten, the dairy, the refined sugars, the processed foods, and really focus on whole foods. I like to say foods that God made. And then adding that 20 grams of protein into your diet immediately after exercise. those are my top tips for you. There's so much more where this came from, so I'll link up some extra resources here. But again, if you have any questions, let me know. But this is all amazing information that you can use to start really living in alignment with your physiology.